Hey everybody, it's Amanda. So I just got done doing the 5 makeup product tag, which I should have uploaded just before this video, but I'll link it down below in case you want to see this look that I have on my face now. I did it using 5 makeup products. So the next tag that I'm going to do is actually a tag for me, also from my friend on YouTube. I'm going to link her channel below, and it's the I love the 80s tag. Now, first of all, before I start going through my answers to the questions, I was born in 1977, so I was really kind of a kid in the 80s, and I definitely have a lot of favorites from the 80s, but I didn't get into my teens and stuff until really in the 90s, and so I feel like some of my answers to these questions may be a little more stuff that was more popular kind of with younger crowds and younger kids, but I'll just go through these with you. Okay, so the first one is, what is your favorite movie from the 80s? Okay, this is an incredibly hard question to answer. I don't think I could narrow it down to one movie. My friend picked Dirty Dancing, and I have to say that is one of my favorite movies from all time. And what's really funny is that that's one of the movies that my mom actually bought for us on VHS, and I watched it over and over and over again, especially the dance scene, like at the end between, with Patrick Swayze, and I just absolutely love that movie so much that we like literally wore the VHS out. Like we wore it out. So that would have to be in my top contenders, but I kind of made a list here, so if I'm looking down, that's what I'm doing. Like, as I don't want to forget any of my favorites, I really thought through this, and my favorites would probably be definitely Dirty Dancing. Girls Just Want to Have Fun, which, if you haven't seen it, has Helen Hunt and Sarah Jessica Parker, like, made in the early 80s. It is such a super cheesy movie, but it's also a dance movie, and at the end they go on dance TV and they have this big dance off, and I have it on DVD now, and I still occasionally will watch it, just, you know. Splash. It's a movie with Daryl Hannah and Tom Hanks about how she's a mermaid, and that was really one of my favorite movies when I was a kid. The Never-Ending Story, which I don't know, that's really more of a kid's movie, but it's about a little boy who gets a book and he gets kind of trapped in the world. Not really trapped in the world physically, but the things that are going on in the book are coming true. I know that's a horrible way to explain it, but love that movie. Back to the Future. Back to the Future was just one of my absolute favorites. I think Michael J. Fox was probably the first, sort of like my first fan crush, and he was in one of my favorite TV shows from the 80s, and I really loved him too in that movie. Definitely Top Gun, because Tom Cruise was another one of my big fan crushes. The Secret of Nim, which is a cartoon. I don't know if most people I talk to have never seen that movie, but I really, really loved that movie when I was a kid. I still have it today, and it's still one of my favorite animated movies of all time. So if you've never seen The Secret of Nim, you have to watch that one. The Muppets Take Manhattan came out in the 80s. That is absolutely my favorite Muppet movie of all time. Again, I still have that one on DVD, and I love it. And finally is my final pick, and this is one, the one that when she said favorite 80s movie, I really thought of off the top of my head, and that is The Goonies. I can still watch The Goonies to this day and just absolutely love it. Okay, favorite TV shows. So like I said, you know, my TV shows were probably some of the shows that were geared a little bit more towards younger viewers. I absolutely loved The Cosby Show when I was a kid, and when they had the spin-off show, A Different World, which was kind of more like in the late 80s, I absolutely loved that show. 21 Jump Street, Johnny Depp, hello, hotness, absolutely loved him. The Facts of Life. I don't know if anybody remembers that show with Tootie and Natalie and Blair and Joe, and they were like at this girls' boarding school, and I loved that show. Fraggle Rock, which was also a Jim Henson show. Who's the Boss? One of my favorite cartoons I remember was the Gummy Bears. And of course, Knight Rider, because like, who didn't love Knight Rider? Now, as I got a little bit older, there were some 80s shows that I used to watch, like in reruns and stuff, with my grandmother. And which I ended up like coming to really love, but probably after they were initially on air, and that would be the Golden Girls, In the Heat of the Night, and Designing Women, before they got rid of Delta Burke. After they got rid of Delta Burke, that show was terrible. So anyways, Designing Women in the Delta Burke days, loved it. Okay, favorite music. I was definitely really into pop music, and I was really into women singers. And the only two records, yes, I said records, that I really remember having and playing like all the time was Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, and my Madonna records. So those were definitely my favorite music of that time. What did I wear back then? Well, I was really into the pop stuff. I definitely remember having, like, wearing leggings with the big shirts over them and then, like, tying them off to the side. I remember wearing jeans and pegging them, which was like when you would take your jeans and fold them over and then roll them up. Leg warmers. And I also remember this weird thing where I would have two different color socks on. Like, I would have, like, pink and purple socks, but have two pairs on, but on the left foot, the purple one would be on the top, and then on the right foot, the pink one would be on the top. Definitely my Keds. I thought those were totally awesome. Okay, what else? And then the last question is, what was your favorite memory or your best time from the decade? I don't remember really anything specifically happening as far as like current events type things, but I remember being a kid and spending a lot of time with my Mimi and Pop Pop, and that's kind of what I think about when I think about my childhood and I think about the 80s, and I really miss them. So I would have to say that those were my best memories from the decade. Anyways, I hope this gives you a little more insight into me and what my favorite things are. And I want to thank you so much for watching, and I want to thank you so much for tagging me, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.